Hello, Michelle. How you doing today? What's shaking?
I am good. I'm good. Lindsay, when was the last time you played bingo? Can you even remember?
Bingo? Wow, I don't even remember. What about you? Have you played recently? Any bingo?
I have played recently. I played recently with my husband's grandmother. We st-
Aw, that's
we
so
went
cute.
to visit her and then there was a bingo time. So we played bingo and it was intense. She was playing with maybe 4 cards and there was a lot they went very quickly through it. So I was just doing a lot of this motion and it was
That's so did she win or
No, there was
no?
so it's always frustrating in bingo, when you think, "Oh, I just need 1 more, I just need 2 more," and then somebody else says, "Bingo," and you just,
Oh,
"No!"
that is frustrating. I know that feeling, but I know it in life, right? Not
Yes.
just in the game, for sure. I'm excited to see what we're gonna talk about today. It sounds like we're gonna get into this idea of
It's gonna
saying
be
a
fun.
bingo, right? Beyond just playing the game. But first, guys, hit the follow button on All Ears English. We now publish 5 days a week, and you don't wanna miss a single episode
No, no, no.
because you do miss bonuses if you're not following. So let us come to you. Hit the follow button wherever you're listening, Apple Podcasts. If you're on YouTube, hit subscribe. And this
Mhm.
listener for today's question is actually on YouTube. All right.
Yes,
So, Michelle,
and
could
so
you
are
read the
we.
question? Yeah. Could
So
you read the question for us? Yeah.
Sure, let's do it. So this listener says, "Hi, could you please explain what are the differences between bingo card and wild card? And how do we use these terms in conversations? Are they used often in our daily lives? Thanks." So I'm
Thanks.
excited about this one. We're going to have a lot of fun with this.
This is great. I had not seen this question, but I love that they're asking this question. So the bingo card. So what is the
Mhm.
bingo card, anyways?
Right. So it just so happens that I used this right before planning this episode. So I
Oh,
feel this
weird.
is very and I've heard it several times since. So the
Really?
bingo card, guys, I don't know if you've played bingo, but you have your card and you have the numbers on it and somebody calls out the numbers and you if you have that, you put a little marker on it to show that you've gotten that spot. Somebody called out
Oh,
your number, right?
okay.
So,
Interesting.
so I've actually been thinking about doing an episode about this. I've heard it many times. Lindsay, do you ever hear people saying
I
something it was not on their bingo card?
No, to be honest, but I think it might be a matter of awareness, right? We say
Mhm.
our listeners, once we teach vocabulary, they're now going to hear those
Mhm.
words everywhere. So this is the same thing
Mhm.
for me today.
I
I d-
yes.
don't I don't hear it because maybe I don't know it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's becoming more popular as well. So I do think you're going to
really.
start to hear it more. Yeah. So we're going to talk about how to use this and we're going to talk about wildcard as well, but before we do that we want to direct you over to another episode. So we are going to direct you over to the episode 2203. You know what, let's learn how to introduce a surprise in English. So head on over and
Love
listen to
that.
that.
Love that. Great suggestion. Probably goes nicely with today's episode. So, guys, go and listen to that one and remember to hit follow. So, bingo card. Okay,
Okay.
Michelle, break it down for us here,
So
please.
this is not when we're talking about a literal bingo card, we're talking about playing the game, but
Yeah.
it's also used as a slang type of expression. So
Okay.
bingo, right? The spaces to fill, the literal meaning. So the slang that people use usually is for something to be on their bingo card. So, and we
Mm.
use it to talk about something that was a surprise. And
Ah,
we even use it more to say that we didn't have something on our bingo card. We didn't.
okay.
So, for example, I didn't have moving to Japan on my bingo card, but here we are.
Okay. So, you mean that you didn't see it in your future? You didn't imagine it would ever happen? Is that what we're saying?
Right.
Michelle?
It's something that
Okay.
was unexpected.
Ah,
So, I'm just thinking of something recently. Did you know that there was an earthquake in the New York area?
I heard about that. Definitely wasn't
Yeah.
on your bingo card, right, Michelle?
Exactly. I didn't even it was so odd and unexpected that I wasn't even sure what was happening. I was my son was climbing on something and I thought, "Is it because of him that the Lord, I don't know. It was just this way. And then we went out into the hallway and the neighbors came out and they said, "Did you feel that?" I said, "Oh my gosh, it was an earthquake." So I
Wow.
could say I didn't have an being in an earthquake on my bingo card today, but there was one, right?
Okay. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of sarcastic
Yes.
a little
Yes.
bit. It's kind of a lot of personality to say that, to put an event in context and just it creates a little bit of humility. Hey, it wasn't on my bingo card, but it
Mhm.
happened. And this gives us the idea we can't control everything in life, right?
Mhm.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. Hmm.
Exactly. Let's sit here, Lindsay. You want to read the next example?
Yeah. Did you have running into Lady Gaga on the subway today on your bingo card? Because I didn't.
Okay.
Did that happen to you? Did you run
No.
into Lady Gaga? Okay.
No, I did not.
I mean, it
But
could happen. She's from New Jersey, right? I mean, she probably
that's
lives in New
she
York, I would imagine.
probably it could happen. You never know. But also, I think. Did you ever play bingo in school? And you also sometimes it wasn't even just that the card already existed. Sometimes you filled out your own bingo card. Do you remember that?
Maybe. Yeah,
Uh,
sounds vaguely familiar. Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, well, whatever. It doesn't really matter for the for this. But yeah, it's a way to say unexpected. So let me do one more example. I don't think she had new car on her bingo card for this year, but she has no choice. Right?
And,
So maybe
this
yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so maybe somebody wasn't planning on purchasing a new car, but then their car broke down in some way,
Right.
the engine wasn't working, so she didn't expect it, but she has no choice.
Right. Right. And this is life, right, Michelle? This is the nature of life. Life throws us a lot of unexpected things. There are a lot of things going on right now in my life that I would never have imagined would be going on 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, same thing for me. I think, yeah, it is have you ever heard that expression, "Man plans and God laughs"?
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that expression, actually. I think it's a good one, and it
It
points to
I
this same idea that
exactly.
we're not really in control. So the question is, how do we react when these
Right.
things happen? We can be able to
Mhm.
drop a funny, fun, slangy expression like this that could build connection, guys. Right?
Right. And you could have said she didn't expect to get a new car this year,
Sure.
right? You could have said that instead, and that would have just been more straightforward if we weren't using the slang. But because we know what slang does, it makes things maybe humorous or very conversational, a little less formal. So that's basically what you would say if you weren't using the slang.
And also just a little lighter. Life is
Mhm.
kind of, in some ways, life can be hard, right? Life throws us all these things. And if we
Yeah.
can use language to lighten things up, especially around people that we want to build a relationship with, it's just so powerful, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
I agree.
All right, Michelle, where are we going from here?
Now let's do wild card. So we're going to touch on wild card as well. So in a game, a wild card is the card that you choose to be whatever you want. Maybe it's a particular suit or number. Lindsay, do you like to play card games?
Not a big card player, Michelle, actually, but yeah, I need to learn how to play cards a little bit better. It sounds like you like to play cards.
Yes, I do. So, but I don't play as much as I like. But I, as a kid, oh my gosh, I loved to play, loved. So, but yeah, this to say wild card in slang, it's basically it's erratic, it's unpredictable, it's uncertain. It could be a
Mhm.
person or a thing. Lindsay,
Yeah.
do you hear this one?
Yeah, wild card for sure. For sure. This one I 100% know. Very common, right? It's a wild
Hmm.
card. So here's a sample sentence. She's nice, but she's kind of a wild card when it comes to her political opinions.
So maybe she's unpredictable, and maybe she brings things up that or feel
Mhm.
uncomfortable for people. We don't know.
Right, right. Exactly. Exactly. Or what's another one?
Another one is, we're on for Sunday. The only wild card is Sylvie, but I hope she can come.
Yeah, this one's very common. Or I want to set the schedule, but the wild card is the quote. So let's wait until we get that before we make our decisions. So it's kind of the missing piece, and the thing that could really swing the
Mm.
project in one way or the other is the quote.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. So, and but what do we mean by quote here?
We mean the price. So how
Yeah,
much the project is going to cost, right? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So these two expressions they're different, but they kind of relate in the way that it's something unpredictable. predictable, maybe a little bit of a surprise, right? If you have a wild card or someone is a wild card, something might not be on your bingo card, right? Her wild card, she's a wild card as far as if she's coming or not. I didn't have this on my bingo card today, something like that. There's
Tying them
ways to combine
together.
it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
sometimes they say, for example, a politician could be sort of a wild card.
Mm.
Certain politicians in Congress are kind of unpredictable, and you just don't know how they're going to vote, right? And
Yeah.
they end up making the headlines for sure. People don't know if they can trust them because they'll vote one way, which maybe is good, right? To be able
Mhm.
to have different opinions on different things and not always
Mhm.
vote along party lines. So, super interesting. Can go into politics
Definitely.
too. Hmm. Yeah.
That's true. So, Lindsay, would you say these are formal, informal? Would you use them at
They're
work?
pretty
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think you could use them at work. It's not like it's street slang where,
Mhm.
it's not where we're not dropping any, swear words here. I think
Mhm.
well placed around the right situation, you could use these at work for sure. What do you
I
think,
think so
Michelle?
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too. And sounds like I would say that most people have heard wild card,
Yeah.
and the bingo card one is really getting pushed in now. You'll hear it more
Interesting.
frequently.
Okay.
Um, so, Lindsay, let me know when you hear it for the first time.
I
I want
will.
a text message.
All right. I will. I will. I bet it'll be tomorrow or something like that.
It's true. So let's do a role play here to show how this might fit together. So here we run into each other at the grocery store.
Okay. Here we go. Whoa, Michelle, I did not have running into you on my bingo card for today.
I know this is too funny. I usually don't come here because this place is a bit of a wild card when it comes to the produce, but I'm glad I came today.
Ooh, these are great examples, right? So, what I'm saying here in the beginning is that I didn't expect to run into you, right? It's an
Mhm.
unexpected occurrence. So, I did not have running into you on my bingo card today. It's a little wordy, right? And when it comes to the grammar, we want to make sure we do this right. So, I didn't have X, I didn't have
Right.
running into you. And then we need the ing form,
Yes, exactly. That's what I
right?
was going to say. That ing is important
Yeah,
in this type
exactly.
of a context. Yeah. Right. If you say
Mm,
it wasn't on my bingo card, then that's, of course, you don't have anywhere to put an ing. But if you said I did not have blank, it would be with an
mhm.
ing.
The event, we need the ing. And then you said wild card. Tell us what you did here.
What I did here is I said I usually don't come here because this place is a bit of a wild card when it comes to the produce. So, what am I saying?
You're just saying you cannot rely on the produce being good. You never know. You never
Mhm.
know. It's unexpected. That's how I feel about all my grocery stores. You
I
walk
know.
in, it's pretty crazy, right? You just don't know. So maybe if you come on a Tuesday afternoon, it's great. It's stocked and very fresh produce, but you come on a Sunday and it's not good. You just don't know. You don't know how the
Something's
produce
gonna
is
have
going to be.
mold on it. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, strawberries and things for sure.
Yes. Ugh.
All right,
Yeah.
Michelle, this is great. So today we've talked about ways to say something is kind of unexpected, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And there's also, as a side point, I think maybe we'll do another episode on this. There's a way people say the word bingo when something happens. And that's actually what I thought we were going to
Oh.
talk about today, but I'm glad that we went in a different
Oh, I wasn't even
direction.
thinking about that. Bingo. God.
Bingo. So we'll save that for another episode, guys. Hit the follow button. And Michelle, what is a great way to consume All Ears English? Even
Guys,
better than here. Yeah.
for sure. Well, we have this amazing app. And on this app, you have all the episodes. And then with the episodes, you have transcripts. Guys, these are not AI transcripts with
Yeah.
lots of mistakes. These are human created transcripts. People go through, they listen, and they transcribe. So you are going to get real things on this transcript, like crosstalk, false starts, things
Yes.
that are natural to conversations that a robot is not able to follow.
Exactly. So that will get you the real English, guys. If you're learning, listening to All Ears English to level up to 99% fluency, your missing piece is human transcripts where you see the crosstalk, you see the false starts, and you have a chance to build your own vocabulary list
Mhm.
based on keywords that we
Yes.
choose for you. You can tap them, see the definition. It just lets you take listening to another level. So, Michelle, where can our listeners get the app?
Go to allearsenglish.com/app.
Love it. And what's our takeaway for today?
Guys, these are super fun. I love this question. I was excited when I saw it. It's a great way to connect and show personality, ways to talk about things that are unpredictable. You're not sure which way things are going to go, something that you didn't expect. And these are so common in life, these situations. Every day there's something that happens that you didn't expect.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just so useful for that connection because everybody can relate to that feeling.
Exactly. And sometimes words can actually, as we say things, they can change the way we think about things. Like let's say you were in a car
Mhm.
accident and you're fine, thank goodness, right? You're fine
Mhm.
physically, but yeah, you had to get a new car. Your car was totaled. Maybe you're feeling kind of bummed out about that.
Mhm.
Well, try using one of these
Yeah.
expressions to reframe it to yourself and to the person around you. And now we can start to change and we can start to feel we're pretty humble. Actually, we don't have a whole lot of control over what happened. And that's maybe that's okay.
Yeah.
'Cause if
Yeah.
we can articulate that, we can have a connection moment, right?
Definitely. Well said, Lindsay. Okay, thank you
Yeah.
to our listener for this question. Loved it. So much fun. And guys, give these a try today.
All right, good stuff, Michelle. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.